Sup, y'all? Welcome back to the Patrick Allan Ryan Show. This is episode 11, and it has been quite a while since I recorded. Dare I say, maybe even almost a month. I did 10 episodes there real quick. They were coming at you fast, and I really liked the pace that they were coming out at. But then I had my last week here in Florida with my son before he went back to Memphis. And then after that, my wife and I moved, and we've really only just recently gotten settled into our new temporary place where we're only going to be here hopefully about 7 or 8 months. And then the plan is to buy a house. So, got a lot going on. And unfortunately, just because I'm recording this doesn't mean that production's going to ramp up to be quite at the pace that it was before. To be honest with you, I'm going to be able to get one of these out every week. I'm hoping that it's going to be Monday so that it can be consistent, but who knows? They're also probably going to be quite a bit shorter. So, if you've been a listener here for a while, I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your support and your prayers and everything else. So let's hop right into this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this Colin, I'm going to say it's Kaepernick stuff that's going on. So if you don't know, he is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and he decided that during a pregame, or a preseason game, rather, that he would not stand up during the playing of the national anthem. And the reason that he cites is because he can't support a country that is responsible for so much black oppression. So, real quick before I continue on, I want to say, Colin Kaepernick, or Kaepernick, however you say his name, he has every right to not do this. If this is what he wants to do, if he's upset about black oppression and here in this country, and that's something that he wants to do, then we live in a country where he's able to do that. If he lived in North Korea, he wouldn't be able to do that because North Korea is not a free country. And there's even a lot of countries that are, quote, free, where he wouldn't be able to do this. It's just, it is what it is. And one of the great things about this country is if you don't like this country, but you live here, you're free to express that any way you want. So if there's people out there, not if there's people, I know there are a lot of people out there who are very patriotic. They're all about, their freedom and expressing their freedom, and they're mad at this guy for refusing to stand up during the national anthem. And I can understand that. But you're mad at him for expressing himself freely. I mean, that's part of the price of us being a free country. People get to not like us. People get to not stand during the national anthem if that's something that they want to do. Now, my opinion on him not standing is that, and again, this is with just very limited amount of knowledge about him. I didn't know who this guy was before all this started happening. So I could be way off base about this. And if I am, and I've actually said this on Facebook, if I'm way off base about this guy, if this guy is, a Mother Teresa as a quarterback, then I'm wrong for what I'm about to say. But from what I can tell, what I'm about to say is pretty spot on. He makes, according to some memes I've seen on Facebook, and I have not checked this, so, and you know how memes are. One guy says something, and now that's just the truth. I don't know how much he makes. But according to this meme I saw on Facebook, he makes $19 million a year. That sounds pretty reasonable to me for an NFL quarterback to make maybe it wasn't a year. Maybe that's just the size of his contract. Like, he's going to make $19 million over the course of 5 years or whatever it is. That doesn't matter. Guy's a millionaire. The guy gets paid millions upon millions of dollars to throw a football. And he's decided that he's sick of black oppression in the United States. And even though this guy's black, and he's making a butt ton of money to do a thing that I can't do. I'm not going to sit here and dog football players. He's able to do something that I certainly don't have the ability to do or the talent to do. But other than being an entertainer, hey, entertainment is important. That's why I do this show, because I want to entertain people. I enjoy a lot of entertainment. I have a whole boatload of video games and a bunch of movies, and I subscribe to Netflix. Entertainment's important. Sometimes I wonder whether or not entertainment is as important as we value it. I don't think that it is, but that's neither here nor there. And as far as I know, Mr. Kaepernick has not donated any of his time or money to this cause of black oppression. He hasn't done anything substantial to end black oppression. Now, he has risen above it. That's cool. I think that's awesome. Look, as a 32-year-old white man living in the United States, I think people tend to blow things out of proportion. I do not think that, quote, black oppression is nearly as bad today as it used to be, even though the people who speak out about it make it sound like it's worse now than it's ever been, which, of course, is ridiculous. We don't own slaves anymore, so at the very least, it's better than it was pre-Civil War. But, yeah, I just don't think people are kicking minorities around like they used to get kicked around. But even, you know what, honestly, I'm not even sure why I brought that up, because that's not important, because it has nothing to do with my point. My point is that Colin Kaepernick is him not standing during the national anthem is about the same thing as your buddy on Facebook adding a rainbow-colored equal sign to his Facebook profile page in support of marriage equality. Okay, your profile picture changing did nothing. It let everybody that you're friends with know that you support homosexual marriage being legalized. So there's that. But you haven't done anything. You haven't called your congressman to tell him, hey, do this thing. I want this thing to be legal. You haven't poured any money into it. You haven't donated any time other than the 5 seconds that it took you to update your profile picture. And that's really what I'm getting at here, is that I don't care about Colin Kaepernick not standing up during the national anthem. He's free to do that. And I say more power to him. More power to him. That's what's great about this country, is he's free to do that. What kind of irks me is that, if you ask me, he's really only doing it because he wanted some attention. You know what? The guy's like one of the most talked about things over the last couple of days. Like I said, I didn't know who he was. Now, granted, I don't watch sports. There's probably a lot of people out there who knew who he was before today. There's also a whole bunch of people who didn't know who he was before today, and now a bunch of people know who he is. And so now you got some people out there that support him, and so now they're going to say that they're 49ers fans because of this, even though they'll never watch a game. Maybe they'll buy a jersey, and you'd be like, hey, I support the ending of black oppression because I spent $200 on a number 7 jersey for the 49ers, whatever. But you didn't really do anything. other than draw attention to yourself. And so now, let's be fair. Maybe he had no idea anyone was even going to notice. I doubt that. He's the quarterback. It's not like he's some third-string kicker that if he sat down during it, none of the cameras are going to notice because none of the cameras are looking at him. He's a quarterback. He was the focus of attention probably during the coverage of that game. But anyway, I'm bringing it up because that's my 2 cents. I think, just to sum it up, I think he had every right to do what he did and is apparently going to continue to do. But unless he's donating some of his time and money, he may as well have just updated his Facebook profile picture and called it a day, because he's doing absolutely nothing to actually end black oppression in the United States. And so that's anyway, that's my 2 cents. Okay, so as I'm recording this, the Join the Rivalry podcast, the Pokemon podcast, has been updated with its 4th episode. That kind of took a break, partially due to the move, but also due to some technical difficulties that I was having. So that's updated. Original Gamers podcast is still being updated. CrossForge Gaming is going to kick off a new, I don't know if you'd call it season of games. Maybe we will wind up calling it that, but we're going to have Super Smash Brothers Wii U. It's coming up real soon. Our very own Darman is going to be hosting a Dota, or maybe it's legal. He's going to do a MOBA. I don't know which one. I think the one he plays is Dota. Actually, no, I know the one he plays is Dota. So he's going to play some Dota. We're going to do another Hearthstone tournament. Just a lot of really exciting things coming your way with that as we ramp up activities over at CrossForge Gaming. You can find that at crossforgegaming.com. So a little personal update. I told you we just moved. So I'm going to electricity school to be an electrician up here at the college in Milton, Florida, where I live. Is Laughlin Tech. I guess it's really a technical school. I don't know if technical schools count as colleges. But, I started doing that, and I honestly, it's been so long since I've recorded an episode of this, I don't remember if I talked about this on the show already. So if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. I'm doing it because, I had quit my job to do Reclaimers, which has started, and maybe I'll talk about that here in a little bit, and the success that it's having already. But I quit my job to start Reclaimers, and just things weren't going quite the way that I thought they were going to go, or quite the way that I wanted them to. And so I spoke with my wife, April, who is amazing and super sexy, and I feel bad for all the men out there that don't get to be married to her, because she's amazing. We talked, and I got someone brought up that Paul, the Apostle Paul, he was a tent maker while he was serving in ministry, and he continued to make tents to provide for himself and to provide for his ministry, until his ministry had grown to a point where it could sustain itself. And I didn't do that. I skipped right to, hey, let's jump into ministry and it's going to sustain itself. And that didn't happen, and I was foolish for thinking that it would. So I'm just admitting that right now. So I'm going to electricity school, and actually I was really blessed to find out that the teacher at the school, at the electrician courses that I'm taking, he's a youth leader. He does the exact same thing. He's in ministry, but the ministry is not self-sustaining, so he's an electrician by trade. And, he says every day that we're in there, when we talk about jobs and what his dream job would be, he says that if he could do ministry full-time, that he would. But that hasn't happened yet, so right now he is, he's doing the electrician thing, and that supports him, and it supports his family, and it sounds like it supports him very well. So sorry about the little dead air there. I got a text message I was looking at. So a little behind the scenes information here. So that was really encouraging that, this is going to be a job I'm going to be able to do, and it's not going to interfere with my ministry. In fact, it's going to enable me to enhance my ministry. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm really excited about it. I'm also really enjoying it. This is, I enjoyed television school. Actually, I really enjoyed television school. But, yeah, it just wasn't working, the TV gig. So hopefully this will work out. Reclaimer. Of course, one of the things about Reclaimer and sexual addiction recovery is, it's not something that you sit around talking about outside of the class or the meetings. And that's because, there's a certain amount of anonymity. And I hope you guys understood the word I was trying to say. That word does not roll off my tongue very well. So I can't talk about like who's in it or what we talk about or things like that specifically. But I can tell you that God is doing a fantastic work in Reclaimer ministry. God is going to heal some men. He's going to heal me. And not just put a Band-Aid on the problem, but men are going to be free of the slavery of sexual immorality because of this group. I know this. And it's already starting to happen. The chains are being sawed away, and we're going to be free of this. So I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about the men that have stepped up to do this with me, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much for those of you who've been praying about that. Thank you for your prayers about it. It's been pretty great. Last thing, the quest to get custody of Caspian. So, as with the other things that I'm doing, that has also stalled. But ramping that back up as well. I'm going to try and get updates about that every week, not just on the page, but also on this podcast, or on this show, rather. So, the last time that we probably spoke about it, we had raised $420, and that is out of the $50,000 that we're trying to raise. Now, I know that's not a lot of money. Not $50,000. $50,000 is a boatload of money. $420 is not a lot of money toward the $50,000. And not getting discouraged. It grows, and God is. It's gonna happen when God wants it to happen. So there. Anyway, so that's about all that's going on with me. I guess real quick before I turn it over and leave, pray for my family. And I don't just mean April and I and Caspian. I mean my parents. They're going through some rough stuff. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and bet that they don't want their dirty laundry being aired out all over the place, so I'm not going to get into specifics. But just know that they adopted some children a while ago, and as those kids get older and more strong-willed and want a little bit more of their freedom, a lot of stuff is going on, and we need Jesus in those moments and in those situations, watching out for my parents and watching out for those kids that they adopted. So, yeah. Awesome stuff. It's going to be great. So, yeah, check out jointherivalry.podbean.com. Check out ogcast.podbean.com. Those are the two podcasts that I do, and check out crossforgegaming.com for more stuff. There's also patrickallanryan.com. patrickallanryan.com is actually going to be getting a pretty big overhaul because the guy that was letting me use his server for free, he's not able to do that anymore. It's not like there's anything like bad blood or anything. It's just stuff happens and it's just not available to me anymore. So I'm going to be looking into getting something like Squarespace or Weeby or something like that, and that probably means the website's going to look better because I'll have better publishing tools and all that stuff, and I'll try and get that updated quite a bit more often. So check those things out, and thanks for checking out the show. If if I can record more than one episode a week, then I will. But the only thing that I'm promising is that there's going to be one a week. And this may very well be this one that is happening this week. So let me pray, and I'll let you guys go. Great and mighty and powerful God, you are holy, you are awesome, you are amazing, and God, we love you so much, and we thank you for being you and for loving us, even though you don't really have any good reason to love us or care about us, because we are like filthy rags, as Paul said. God, I want to lift up my family, lift up my siblings, and just be with them and show them that not only do my parents love them very much, but that you love them very much, and that their identity needs to be in the fact that you love them unconditionally. God, bless the Reclaimer ministry. Bless me as I am in electrician school. Bless my wife for supporting me in this and for loving me even when I do ridiculous things. And God bless everyone who's listening to this show. Just protect them, help them to grow, and I hope and pray that this show is not just entertaining for them, but that it is a blessing to them in some way, even though I'm not sure how that could possibly be. And Father, we love you, and we ask these things in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. All right, that is the show. Thanks for tuning in, and at the very least, I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Love you guys.